Hi, this is Larry Godwin in my shop today and made a little video. Hope you like it. It's how to turn a block like this into a nice little pencil cup. Hope you enjoy. Drawing your part using grid paper is a great way to start your project. Start with a basic, then change it to make it your own. After putting the points in using the awl, I like to use the spur drive to give it a little bit more of a bite. On my lathe, I have the original spur drive and the live center, but I have upgraded the tool rest one with a hardened rod made by Robust. At this time, make sure there's enough clearance between the tool rest and the wood. In this view, I'm using a roughing gouge to take the corners off the piece. Always go from the middle of the part off the end. One way to see if you're close to being done, lay the tool on top of the piece to check for vibration. In this view, my first pass is to square up the end, and my second is to turn the tenon. When tightening the piece onto the chuck, it can be a good policy to tighten it in several locations. Adding pencil marks to your piece will remind yourself where the cuts need to be made. At this point, I like to use a spindle gouge in order to clean up the end. Make sure the bevel is parallel to the end of the piece. Make sure you go in a little bit before you open up your tool to make the rest of your cut. Here you can clearly see the tear out in the end grain before the spindle gouge is used to clean up the end of the wood. Adding some lines here so I know where I want to turn my beads. Adding a little cut here so I know where the bottom of my cup is. Here I'm using a spindle gouge to shape the outside of the part. Here I'm using the same spindle gouge to turn the beads on the outside of the part. If you have trouble shaping the outside of your part, sometimes using a pull cut will help you achieve that and get a nice finish. Before I install my drill, I like to mark the depth using a Sharpie. I often put wax on the drill bit to help in the drilling process. To get the hole started, I clamp down the tailstock. After you have the hole started, it's much easier to push the drill in by hand. Make sure you pull the drill out and clean out the flutes so the drill does not overheat. I like to wax my drill bit before I put it away. Here's a little trick. Put your key in your drill chuck before you put it away and you won't lose it.